Talking Entertainment, back again with another TV show review. We're back with Season 1, Episode 1 of Fallout, and this one is titled The End. And could this one be over before it even started? Because, folks, what about this show? Well, I mean, I think when your premiere is 75 minutes long, it's going to turn a lot of people off. And I'm not even too sure if all episodes got released at once. I guess I'll have to double check that. But, I mean, I think it was just far too long. 75 minutes, man. No, that's too long for a premiere. We have a host of characters, right? I can't even remember what fault we're in. No, I mean, I did play the Fallout games, right? Never completed any of them. Played them for a day. I mean, in terms of my total hours played on Fallout, I mean, I probably spent a couple of hours playing the games. Like 5 hours or so. And I think, in terms of video game concept being brought to like a TV show or a media format with a movie, I do genuinely think that, you know, there are worse ones to make, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling this, man. You've got a 75-minute premiere, which I feel like I've touched upon about 400 times so far, right? You're introduced to Lucy McLean. We already knew Lucy for the trailers, right? Her family, whole gimmick is, oh, she's going to get married to somebody. Who's she going to get married to? I'm not too sure. We're introduced to her dad, we're introduced to her brother as well. We did have like the cold open, I guess, which was Walter Goggins' character. You know, he's giving speeches, he's on a horse performing tricks. This is like the height of the nuclear war between the Soviet Union and the Americans. Like, nuclear war is a threat every day and all that stuff. Talking about, well, if an explosion goes off and it's bigger than your thumb, then you may as well not run. But if it's smaller than your thumb, then you can run. You might survive. But, I mean, there's a lot of circumstances that's got to go into this. Like, it depends how close you are to it, how big you are. And then we see an explosion go off, and the kid he was talking to is like, are we basing it off your thumb or my thumb? Then he looks, sees the explosion, everyone's running, getting into faults. This is my fault, motherfucker. You're not getting into this. And then that's pretty much our cold open. Then it's like a 219-year time skip, which is massive. I mean, 219 years is a long-ass time skip. You can't dispute it. That is long. That's big. That is big. So yeah, we're introduced, like I said, a few characters earlier. And the wedding's planned with the two faults meeting here. Oh, I've never stood outside fault, blah, blah, blah. And the dad's like, well, and neither did I until I met your mother. And I knew at that point it was a good choice because everything else in that fault was a distant memory. So we'll have to wait and see how this is going to play out, troops. And then yeah, what precedes this or exceeds this or what happens next, man? Don't know. Too tired to be talking about Fallout here. Early morning. It is on Amazon if anyone really wants to watch it, but it's just like a 15-minute fight scene because the woman, the guy that she married, oh no, he's a raider. They're all raiders, and maybe she didn't. If her friend didn't interrupt her sperm count question, you know, like the smackdown. So yeah, and it's like, I'm not saying you can't have this fight scene here, right, that lasted like 20 minutes, but is it not a bit early to be whipping something like this out in the premiere? I get it. I think it makes a bit more sense to do it in a premiere rather than, like an episode in the premiere. Like, I think a finale, obviously it works, but it's like the first episode and it's not even towards the end. It's like 10 minutes in, and it's just a slow motion fight scene. You've got the raiders wiping out a lot of this people's fault. I mean, there's a lot of blood. Like, Lucy gets stabbed. She managed to get the upper hand on the guy, and it's just weird. It's like he's just like fucking slept with her, probably impregnated her, and like he wasn't even like her husband. He's like a fucking raider. Oh, I know. It's like, fuck, this family, this fault's just been job to clean it. Ends with her dad saving her for this guy again. We thought he was dead, but he's back. I mean, she saves her brother. Her brother's pathetic. I mean, anyway, it is what it is. Then they're all captured, and then the main leader of the raiders is like, oh, you're going to have to choose between your daughter or your people. And there's like only 6 of them left, and he's like, yeah, I choose my daughter. They then knock him out, drag him in. There's a bomb. They set it off. Lucy, bang, good night. We then cut to a new character introduced as Maximum. But seeing that went off and the bomb went off, I was like, that's probably going to be the end of the episode. Paused it. 34 minutes out of 114. I'm like, what? Fuck me. There's that long to go. I mean, seriously? Like fucking 40 odd minutes to go. Jesus, what is the reason? This guy just didn't really do anything for me personally. I mean, what, he stuck a razor blade in one of the transgender people's foot, and it means they can't go off. And then there's this wanted guy, this guy with glasses, and his dog. Whoop-de-doo, just filler. I mean, I say filler. Not even filler. Is fucking shite. Characters I just don't care about in the slightest. It's like supposed to be like a brotherhood, all men. And there's this transgender walking about. Of course, folks, 2024, get used to it. Back to the Falcon Lucy, who is pretty hot, by the way. She wants to find her dad. So at least in that instance, we've actually got a bit of a story brewing there. We then go to the end of the episode where we have three like raiders that I don't believe are connected to any group or faction, and essentially they unearth Walter Goggins. Walter Goggins is alive. But of course, after the 219-year time skip, you probably question how this guy is alive. But welcome to Fallout. Things are a bit crazy. I actually forgot how much like actors they got for this show. You've got Ben from Lost in there. He was also Sepp in Saw. But essentially, it's here. They awaken him here. He gets up. He has a dog with him. He kills those three. He's like, "This is the last job you ever take." And that's the end of the episode. Now, to be fair, I guess like a 74-minute runtime. It did feature like this season on Fallout. But again, like, it looks alright. But my problem here with Fallout is the fact that you've got this gimmick, and also other shows, a lot of like Japanese and Korean shows do this, where they just release all the episodes in bulk, and I'm sorry, man, it's not the way to go, especially for like content creators like ourselves, right? It's so much easier when it's released weekly, and also it gives you something to look forward to. Releasing it in one, actually, people just literally go into the last episode and watch the ending and upload it to YouTube. It's like, stuff like that's incredibly cheap. Incredibly cheap. Anyway, guys, that's where we're going to leave this review of Fallout Season 1, Episode 1 at the end. You know, it was intriguing. I think it was far too long. The stuff with Maximus was just so fucking boring. I'm sorry. I mean, the stuff with Lucy and co was good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, which may seem harsh, but, you know, if you cut the Maximus part, I'd be looking at probably like a 7 or something out of 10. Is what it is. So that's what we're going to get, guys. Till next time. Peace.